Hey, what's up, everybody? It's a brand new day. Here we are. Morning, Paul. Hope everyone's waking up well, feeling alert, ready to go. Market is right at the low from 2 sessions ago. Morning, Freedom. Hey, Steve. Hey, Michael. Morning, McLeese. Let's figure out our channels this morning. Clearly a little bit of a move down. Already looks played out, and we are now just chopping sideways. Looks like the market is anticipating the open. I heard that we might get the Supreme Court ruling today. And the Nasdaq is doing the exact same thing. Looks like the move down overnight. Oh, maybe it is at the same level. Let's check where that low from a couple days ago is. Right around here. Yeah, we're testing it right now. So downtrend also looks played out. Moving sideways a bit and waiting for the open here in a few minutes. We'll be watching to see if there's any news out of the Supreme Court decision, and yeah, we if if that does get released today, we could have a major move. Good morning, McLeese. I already said that. Double good morning to you then. Jockey, what's up? Striker says yesterday's channel went bad. I don't know what you mean by that. Here was yesterday's action. I don't know what you mean by went bad. Everything played itself out just like we would expect. We had this big move down. couple legs of a correction. The only channel that didn't play itself out was this move up right here. We were expecting it to have one more leg up, and it didn't. It started going down, so we knew there was more bearish pressure, and that made sense because of this larger channel that was in play. So that had a break, had a pretty deep pullback, and eventually had a new low right here. So yeah, I don't know. No channels went bad. Everything did what we expected it to do. All these little minor uptrends played themselves out. This minor downtrend played itself out in as a part of the larger move. So yeah. It'll be interesting to see if we get immediate follow through on the open if we break out of this range. Striker says, not in huge sense. Yesterday we left the stream thinking we had a pattern and then it jumped. Got it. That's exactly why we wait for confirmation, right? We had a downtrend in play. So we were thinking short, right? We left the stream, I don't know, somewhere around here thinking, okay, we're short. We have this nice downtrend. Now we wait for confirmation. And so that's the big thing here is that we never got it, right? We're waiting for the short. Right here, we're going, okay, let's see if we can push below the EMA, get a lower high. Doesn't really happen here. Then we're above the EMA. We just got to wait. Okay, still not happening. Oh, here's our push down. Can we get a lower high? Nope, we're back above the EMA. We're above the EMA, and now we're thinking, okay, maybe this whole thing is reversing. Even thinking long here, and then it just started coming back down. Yeah, you just need more patience. That's why we wait for confirmation. So just because you have a pattern, just because you have a trend, doesn't mean like, oh, okay, that just means we're going to slam on trades. No, you wait for the setups to happen. The overall bias informs you of what we would expect. So you get this move down, we're expecting shorts. We want to short. That's where the most likely scenario is, but we just never got the setup until right here in the afternoon. The setup beautifully. We even had another little trend to go off of, couple legs back, push down below the EMA, lower high, boom. So you just got to be patient. Market is open. S&P is below yesterday's low, but above the low from a couple days ago. Be interesting to see if we break through this level to the downside or if this becomes support. And the Nasdaq is quite a bit weaker than the S&P. Not only just moving down, but it's also below its key level and has quite a bit of room to run to get to the next one here. About 70 points till the low from a couple sessions ago. It's looking like it wants to try. But of course, we're not going to chase this. We do not have a trend in play right now. We will watch those. If this continues down, maybe there's a larger trend going. We're going to need to get through all these key levels, though, on the S&P. Too early to draw this just yet, but keep it in the back of your mind. Good morning to all those just hopping in. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Make sure you're hitting that like button on the way in as we wait for the market to reveal itself, for price action to unfold, show us some high probability setups. We got to bounce back up into the range area. Of course, there is a gap to be filled above us. So far, it looks like that might be what's happening. Bid check, compression, and a bounce at a key level. NQ is also bouncing here. I will be looking for a long. So we got a little uptrend in play. So just waiting for a pullback here. If this thing pulls back, holds the 21 really well, gets a couple bounces, that's where we will get long. Already getting that pullback. We'll watch it on the ES2. NQ did not hold the 21 there, so we're not really looking for that long anymore. ES perhaps holding it. Since NQ had no follow through to the upside, it's looking more like a range here. And ES as well. Looks like maybe this range has expanded a little bit. Angel, great question. Is it possible to go for 2 risk reward with the strategy, or is the strategy only good for 1? Yes, it is possible. And actually, talk about that pretty extensively in the masterclass. But yeah, this strategy, the edge in what we trade here is the entry. And then as far as how you manage the trade after that, there's lots of different ways. The entry itself gives you the edge. Now, obviously, if you're going to be going for a bigger target, like let's say 2 risk to reward, your win rate is going to be much lower. That's just the natural trade-off with probabilities. But yes, some people prefer that for whatever reason. It is nice to have big winners and not have to worry about your losers wiping out all your profits. Some people like that mentally. Others like a really high win rate. Same for the mental advantage of like, hey, most of the time I'm going to win. So there's always trade-off. I recommend starting with 1-to-1. And if you can get profitability with that, then tailor it to your own preferences. But of course, make sure that anything you're doing, you are testing. That's the big thing. Because just because you might prefer something doesn't necessarily mean it's profitable. So, yeah, find something you like and then test it. Make sure it's super solid and that you can rely on it, and you're good to go. Market continuing to stay stuck right where it was. Feels like the market's waiting on something, which again, I've heard that we might get a Supreme Court ruling today. I don't know if that is true or not. Last time it was scheduled, it didn't end up happening, but we'll find out, eh? Supposedly 10:30. Actually, I'm seeing perhaps half hour after the open, so perhaps at 10 p.m. Yeah, today could get real nuts real quick. S&P leaking its way down towards that next key level. I'm double checking I actually have it mapped out correctly. Yes. That low right there, that unbroken low. And then below that, we have another one, it looks like. Morning, Joanne. NQ approaching that key level right now. And since we have some more weakness on NQ, I am looking to see if there is a possibility of a wider channel. That fits pretty decently. Still a little bit early to trust this, in my opinion. With possible news coming out, with how choppy it is, and with us being right at key levels, this downtrend can change in an instant and look much more range-like. So keeping it in mind, right? But gonna wait for confirmation. I'm just going back and finding levels here on NQ. In case we get going to the downside. We don't, there's a pretty big vacuum here between one key level and the next. So if we break through this low right here, what is this? 25,565. If we break through that, we have really nothing stopping us to getting down here. That's like how many points is that? 300 points. Basically a 300 point air pocket. And I think ES has something similar here. Let's just go back in time, see if there's any key levels we're missing. Does not look like it. So two big air pockets on the market if we can get through these next couple levels. But for any of that to happen, we're going to need to break a couple more things here. Right now we're getting a bounce. Big red candle as this thing's trying to bounce. We got 10 minutes supposedly until this news comes out, so I would recommend probably being flat. Tom says there's other news at the top of the hour. Oh yes, yeah, we have existing home sales. Honestly, I don't think anything else will really move the market at this point, but tariff news is going to do it. Things have been pretty silent on the tariff front for many months, so if we have something fresh, the market is going to pick up on it for sure. This would be a halfway decent spot for a short if it wasn't so close to the news and right at a key level. You do have this nice little move down right here. Pull back, move below the EMA, and then a lower high. Normally I'd be wanting to short this here. S&P coming up with a little bit more support on this key level. We're seeing some volatility start to pick up a little bit. Yeah, this market is definitely waiting, guys. You can see the tension building up, the volatility in the bars, but the inability to go anywhere right now. This thing is going to go wild. We're remaining right on this key level. You'll see that NQ is doing the same thing as well. Just waiting, anticipating. It's watching, waiting, commiserating. There you go. That's for all the millennials in the chat. It's one of those markets here, guys, where you're like, oh man, it's getting slow, and you start, drifting off, getting distracted with something. All of a sudden, boom, we got a massive move somewhere. Still got this larger channel on deck for if this thing does start to break through that level there. Heavy says that's why he leaves the audio going while distracted. So I'm the alarm, huh? Don't even have to watch the market. Just put me on. Wait till I start reacting. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Let me do the heavy lifting. S&P downtrend is starting to look pretty dang good. If we get a little short here. Okay. We're getting some movement. Hit a little air pocket down there. Right down to that next level. And like I said, if we get below that, we have so much room to run. Downtrend is good to go. Be looking for some shorts while continuing to be cautious about news. Loan XS, XC, Loan XCS. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Glad you've been getting some value out of the videos. That's good to hear. In Q on watch here, it is now below all the key levels. Downtrend looking good. Octopus, no, that is what we were waiting on. Good morning, by the way. The rumor was it was supposed to be released, the tariff news is supposed to be released around now. So, watching the news ticker very closely. Because it could drop at any minute. The news, I mean. I don't mean that the market's going to drop on the news. I mean the news could be released at any... You guys know what I'm talking about. You're with me. Watching to see if we pull back here. If the EMA acts as resistance. Oh, there you go. Octopus drops like the beat. The beat is going to drop. I'd prefer taking a short on NQ because NQ has actually got through the levels. So especially watching the Qs here. We have not got back to the 21 yet though. And ES is actually closing above. Significant bounce here. Definitely need to respect it, especially as it's coming off a key level. NQ as well, got it back above that low. If we push down below the 21 and get a lower high, I'd be interested in that on ES. And NQ obviously is already pushed down below the 21, so looking for a lower high there. While we are waiting, I think I'm going to reload my charts. Both indices still trading above the EMA and trading above that key level. Tom says he's got a narrower channel in play. I'll take a look at that. Ooh, that NQ bar looks pretty good. Might have to give that a try if it closes well. It did not. Kind of a doji close. So I'll go back to looking for that trend line. From regular trading hours, so basically just from here. Nice. That does look pretty solid. Gets us to the same point either way. Either way, we have a trend in play looking for potential short. And Q keeps throwing up these bars that look like they're going to be really good for a short. It's getting volatile out there, guys. This feels like the news is going to be released pretty soon. And if you've been trading long enough, you know exactly what I mean. Usually the market, it'll give you some signs that something's about to go down. All of a sudden, volatility will pick up, volume will pick up, and then the next thing you know, boom, some news release hits the wires and we're going crazy. Yep, here we go. It's happening. It's happening. Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your seats and make sure you're not trading. And guess what the news is for those of you who don't have a news exchange like Trade Exchange, which I highly recommend so you can stay on top of this stuff. Links in the description. If you do not have it, the ruling is that there's going to be no ruling today. Wouldn't you know it? That's the second day in a row. So I don't know what the delay is. I don't know what's going on, but that could change the whole outlook of today. I would bet you that puts us back into range territory, and we're most likely to chop around. So with this bounce, we're coming back into some key levels. I am probably going to be deleting the wider uptrend. And we'll just have to play the short-term channels that we get. Likely to get some back and forth action. Currently we have a little uptrend on this bounce, so I'd be looking for a long. Yeah, starting to, pardon me, break back above the key level there. We'll be watching this pullback. See what happens. If we can get some support at the EMA, we're going to go long, baby. We are getting that pullback now. ES is a little bit more developed in its pullback here. Watch the EMA closely. Getting that push up without a setup on the 21. Didn't actually get the new high. We're back to the 21. We could get a setup here. Not holding here. Berry Picker asking what criteria is used to say that the wider down channel is invalidated. Well, today primarily the news. I'm not saying it's 100% invalidated, but we just had major news come out. It says there's not going to be a decision today. The market was clearly moving down on that news. And also we get this big bounce through key levels. So likely, in all likelihood, we're not going to have a trend day today. Therefore, I wouldn't bet on a wider channel playing out. There's never anything with 100% certainty in trading. Obviously, we're only dealing in probabilities here. And given that situation, I'd say the probabilities would favor more of a range today and therefore not a wide channel. All right, we got ourselves a higher low here. After the EMA is holding, we have an uptrend in play. I like the possibility of going long here. Let's see how this bar ends. If it closes decently, I think I'm going to take a chance on this one. There we go. And so yeah, let's get after this. But if we go past that bar's low there, which it looks like we are, going to cancel this order. There we go, canceled. That's why we wait for trades to trigger above bars for longs and below bars for shorts, because that one rule will save us from trades like that. And if we start going down, hey, it may be the case that we still have this wide downtrend in play. Again, we're dealing in probabilities and we have to adapt with what the market is showing us. Right now we rejected off of these key levels here. Back down below. So leaning on the short side for the moment. NQ still looking a little bit more bullish. It's above the 21. If we break the 21 with ease here, we'll be looking for the same thing. Still below the EMA here. Still nothing set up here. We're just pausing below the 21 on ES and right above it on NQ. We still don't have complete conviction in what trend is in play, so that makes it pretty challenging. I would lean on the long side, especially for the Nasdaq. As long as the 21 holds. So the game plan for the rest of the day is a little bit sketchy, guys, because we don't really have a clear trend one way or the other. So we're going to have to stay on our toes, and of course I'll be sharing my thoughts exactly on the Discord today as things develop. I'm going to be updating everyone on what I'm looking at. Currently I'm kind of just waiting here to see which trend ends up winning out. So I wish I had something more clear than that, but hey, the market's not always clear. And those who make money are the ones who wait until it is clear. Here we got a push below. That's looking pretty good for a short. So I'll be looking for a pullback to the 21 and a nice setup to head down towards the low of the day. That's what we're looking at right now. So anyway, I hope it's a great one, guys. Trade safe out there. Don't just be clicking buttons. Wait for the right setups, and that'll keep money in your pocket. Have a good one. See you next time.